I am not very good at beatboxing. What I am good at, however, is making technology work for your dental practice. My name is Greg Feitz. I'm the owner of DDS Integration. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're going to be talking about the data backup. Really exciting, I know. It's one of the most important things we could talk about because I see time and time again, this is not done properly, and that is a very scary place to be. I've worked with a few offices who have lost days, weeks, years worth of data. I would never want to be in that position. I'm guessing you don't either. The first piece is having proper software. Now, if you have anything that you didn't pay for, your IT guy's like, I can do this for free. It's built into Windows, or I can write this custom script, on and on and on. Yes, technically it will back up your data, but it's not going to do a lot of the things that you need it to do. So what do you need it to do? The first thing that I recommend is that it take an image of your server. An image means it's a snapshot of everything that's on your server, the state of your server, all of the user accounts, sharing, everything that's set up, your practice management data, of course, all of that is stored in this image. It makes restoring really quick if we for some reason have to do that. The other reason it's important, I went into an office about a year ago who had Dentrix and Dexys. Well, they started out with just Dentrix. They added Dexys, but nobody told the IT company, or the IT company didn't know to do it. Whatever the case was, I don't know. Dexys had never been backed up, and that was 2 years prior to my visit to that office. So we try to make things easy. An image-based backup where it backs up the entire server makes that easy. No matter what changes are made to the server, they are reflected in your backup. So that's part number one, should be image or ghost-based technology. Number two, these backup drives, whatever they may be, especially if they're leaving the building, definitely need to be encrypted. There's a lot of data on there, and it needs to be encrypted. So your software needs to do that. The third thing is notification. Because let's be honest, who likes opening up some backup software or script or whatever it may be, going through a log file and trying to decipher, did it copy all the files we needed? Is it okay that it skipped a couple? Notifications should be simple and easy. Here is what mine look like. This is for my home office computer, and if you see, I'm going through them and they all say backup successful, literally on every day. And I get this every morning. So all I'm checking for is whether it was successful or it failed, or if I didn't get anything at all. If it's anything other than successful, I know there was a problem, and then I have to dive into it. If not, if it says successful, I'm done, and that was super easy. The next part that you need to have is the right hardware to back up to. There's not a ton of choices here, but there is one very wrong, in my opinion, choice, and that is tapes. Tapes are how we used to back up in the Stone Ages. Tapes are what we used to store our music on and our videos on. Remember cassette tapes? Do we use those anymore? Absolutely not, because they're slow, because they break, because they're bad. Why are we backing up our servers with these things? The same problems apply. They're unreliable. Not to mention, if your server dies and your backup's stored on your tape, that's all well and good, but that tape drive is sitting in your server. We can't put that tape drive in another computer and make it your temporary server. We have to first fix your server, which could be days as parts are shipped or whatever the case may be, until we can get your server back up and running. Why would we use something that is so limited in its flexibility? The answer is, I don't know why, and we shouldn't. Don't. If you're using tapes, make a change. And here we go. What kind of change should you make? Well, a little external hard drive. These things are tiny now, but this one will store like a terabyte. And no, you don't have to get them with a nice robot on it. I just do because, I'm cool like that. But these things are like smaller than your cell phone. They fit in your pocket. And what we do is we rotate these things. Now, the mistake I see with these, a lot of offices have 2 of these. And you're saying, well, why is that a problem? 2 of them, I can rotate them off-site, and that's the whole goal, is to get them off-site. Right, you are. However, during the day, you're going to have both of these at your office because you're bringing yesterday's in, and then at the end of the day, you're going to take the other one home. Well, the whole point is to get them off-site in case of a fire or a disaster or whatever. So you're at the office doing your job, you hear an explosion or you smell smoke or there's a fire. What is your first thought? Get out of the building, help everybody get out of the building. Probably not, I better go find my backup hard drives and get them out of the building. If we add a third hard drive to the mix, that completely goes away. There's one stored off-site all the time, no matter the scenario if you're doing the rotation, and we don't have to worry about that. Now, the other option, because not everybody loves the idea of having to bring them off-site, having to remember, and what if I go on vacation, who's going to do it, and all of this stuff. The other option, which is heavy, is this guy. This is also an external backup. It stores about 4 terabytes, which is plenty for every office I've ever been in. The thing is fireproof and waterproof. Fireproof for like half an hour up to 1500 degrees. Waterproof for like 72 hours up to 10 feet. So it would certainly cover most all scenarios that you would run into. And it can just sit in your office plugged into your server. So nobody has to do anything as far as rotating the drives. So you really should be doing one of those two things. If you have tapes, get rid of the tapes. Have them shredded, recycled something, or store them somewhere. But definitely, just like your cassette collection that I'm sure you got rid of a long time ago. The next part to this, which if all other things are put in place, this is the failure point, the monitoring. Because ultimately we are asking somebody who is trained to work in a dental office to now work as an IT consultant. Check the backup log. Make sure to go to page 3 and see which files were skipped, and make sure they're not the ones that we need to be backed up. Because these ones are okay to be skipped, but these ones are not. Do you know what that results in? Throwing your arms up and saying, I don't really know, but it's doing something. I'm going to call it good. I see that all the time, and I don't blame you. It's a pain in the butt. So somebody needs to monitor this. Once all is set up the way that we would have you set it up, the way I've just explained, it's easy to monitor it. Because it's taking an image of your server, it's not going to say skipped files or this or that. It's going to say successful or failed. Those are two very actionable items. Successful, my action, do nothing. Failed, my action, call DDS integration, figure out what went wrong, move on with my day. I know that it's handled. Now, if you want to go a step further, we have monitoring plans also. We'll take a look every single day, make changes if changes need to happen, fix it if it needs to be fixed, and away you go. If you're one of these practices that just wants to worry about doing dentistry and be hands-off with some of the other stuff that can be very much a pain, one of those plans is a great option. Otherwise, like I said, we can email it to you. The last part, now if you're somebody like me, having all that in place makes you feel good, but not perfect. Because what if the fire lasts more than half an hour with my fireproof drive? What if somebody steals it? On and on and on. I mean, these are scenarios you can play out just like anything. That's why we have insurance, because bad stuff that doesn't seem like it should happen sometimes does. So I have my data backed up literally in 4 different places. I've put too much time, and there is too much value in all of the things that I've collected. Documents I've written, business plan for when I started the business, pictures of my kids, videos, all that stuff. It's worth a lot. So I don't mind buying a couple extra hard drives, doing a couple extra things to make sure that it is safe. So an option for you that we've researched, tested, and is the best option for a dental practice is an offsite backup, and the one we recommend is called Carbonite. And the reason we recommend Carbonite is because it is encrypted, which means it's HIPAA compliant. So it does the things you need it to do, and it runs automatically all the time. Again, somebody should be monitoring this. You can do it. We can do it. We have plans for that one as well. But it takes your data and it just puts it off-site. So if everything went wrong, your server crashed, your data got stolen locally, I mean, who knows? You have it there also. You can download it. They can send you a hard drive. Those pretty much cover all scenarios you need. You have a great image-based on-site backup, and you also have an off-site backup just in case. and somebody is monitoring that knows how to monitor, that's been trained on what they need to look for, and we are all happier, and none of these scary, scary scenarios will ever play out. So again, not exciting, but imagine how exciting it would be if you did lose your data. Not a good exciting, so let's just try and avoid that. So comment below, subscribe to see our next video. Call us if you have any questions, want us to check out your backup, what's going on with your data. Find us on Facebook, lots of different outlets to get in touch with us. Thanks again for watching. Back up your data, please, and we will see you next time. Thanks.